Welcome to episode 49 of the New Billable Hour podcast. Today's topic is direct, difficult conversations. Let's get started with 3 breaths together. Exhale everything. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. We're in a new month. This month's theme is clear communication. So every episode this month, I am going to talk about a different aspect of communication, which is a very important topic for lawyers and a very important topic for me. As I've been sharing, a lot of these topics are things that I'm working on and my clients are working on, and so I like to talk about it to let us all know that we're not alone. And so with clear communication, the first topic is direct, difficult conversations. And this, I would like to give credit, I will not give her name, but a current client of mine who mentioned it in a coaching call. She said that she is working on, as a result of being in the program, working on facing these direct, difficult conversations she's been avoiding. And I was like, I love that, because that is the cornerstone to balanced lawyering. We often avoid conversations that we don't want to have. A lot of times this is with our clients. Maybe we don't want to tell them directly what's going on in their case. Maybe we don't want to deal with a certain opposing counsel. Maybe we don't want to deal with things at home. And so we are overworking. These direct, difficult conversations are very telling when we avoid them. I am recording this beforehand. I'm recording this in October. And I am hyper aware that I'm going to release this during election week. So to the future me and the future all of you, this is tough times, lots going on. And I don't want you all to get confused when I say direct, difficult conversation, that this means to be having arguments over politics. Because it's disheartening to see that people are trying to get their point across when we're in a very emotional time. So fighting over politics, trying to be right, trying to convince others, there'll be a future podcast about this, is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about direct, difficult conversations where you need to express something. You need to get information across, but we don't want to because we are worried about the reaction. So it may be related to politics, it may be related to the election. When you're listening to this, maybe it's a day or two before the election day or right after. So there's going to be a lot of emotional charge, and you may need to have an emotional conversation about something emotional that has come up because of world events. The idea is, listeners, that these conversations that we're avoiding are the gateway to our next level of maturity, our next level of lawyering. Because we know when we have those conversations and we get through to the other side, we feel better, we feel more competent, we feel more ethical, we feel like we actually accomplished something, we feel more productive. And so these conversations are really important for personal and professional growth. Here's the trick, or here's the tension. I have been blessed with being a very direct person. You might experience that if you know me, and if you don't, you're listening to a lot of me speaking directly to you, directly to listeners. And it's difficult when I have these conversations because not everyone wants to be told directly how you feel. Let's put it that way. Even though the conversation needs to happen. And we're so afraid, as lawyers, we're so afraid of the worst case scenario. We're afraid of being attacked back. We're afraid of people withdrawing their emotions, withdrawing legal things. We're afraid of looking a certain way. We're afraid, depending on your place, how you identify, we're afraid of being judged based on our gender, our race, our experience level as a lawyer, our position with our law firm. We're bringing in that imposter syndrome when we're actually just trying to tell the truth. So we're worried that our truth is going to trigger other people. So that is something we cannot control. However, there's this delicate balance where we need to take into consideration what impact our words can have. And this is my lifelong project, my lifelong study, practice of learning that if my words don't land well, that is mostly probably the other person, but I have some responsibility. And the only thing is practice. The only way to get better at communicating is practice. And in this world where we want instant gratification, we want to feel better, people don't want to figure out how to handle direct communication, we get muted as the communicator. We get muted, we avoid it, and we don't want to go there. And so we avoid it, and then the problem is that it festers and it's going to come up and explode at some other time. So how can we be intentional? How can we use all the mindfulness tools I've taught you that you know, the self-growth, the awareness? How can we use that to communicate to others, to have these conversations? And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Can we look at different parts of what we need to say in a gentle way? How are we? Are we centered and balanced when we are having the conversation? Are we approaching it from a place of compassion? Compassion for ourselves mostly, compassion for the other person, and compassion for the all, for everybody else. Is this conversation necessary to further goodness, to further something productive, something important, or is it just for our ego? And that is the discernment. That is the life's work. That when we avoid a conversation or when we get a little obsessed with having one, what is the motivation? And so I invite you this week, this very special week, to consider any conversations you're avoiding, direct, difficult conversations. Consider how you can have them in a compassionate way. Can you schedule them? Can you figure out a way to communicate that's clear, that gets your point across, that makes you a good lawyer, a good person, a good partner, a good friend, good opposing counsel? And what can you do to make it less difficult on the other person? That's what's hard for me. Maybe also for you. What can you do? Can you know that it's going to land not well and then you just hold space for that person? Can you be open-minded when you listen? Can you take that person's point of view as their truth while you have your truth? Can you agree to disagree, right? Some really advanced ways we can approach life are waiting for us. Creativity. You know how I always talk about there are ways to do things that we don't even know. We haven't even experienced yet. We've just been doing the same things, the same patterns our whole lives. And there's other ways to do things that can yield different results that we don't even know. Like there may be a result that we don't even know. It doesn't necessarily have to be really good or really bad. Maybe there's some neutral result. So approach these direct, difficult conversations with compassion, with gentleness. It's okay if we mess up. Maybe just explore on your own why we're avoiding them. Are they even necessary? Maybe we think we need to have them, but we don't. Maybe it's a conversation with ourselves. Is there another creative way to handle that? That is the topic for today, direct, difficult conversations. I wish you a great week, and I wish you strength in tackling those conversations that you've been avoiding as a way to move forward towards your success. Let's close with 3 breaths together. So exhale everything. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Thank you. This month, I am telling you all to visit my website. It's ritugoswami.com. Link is in the description. And check out what I got going on. In addition to this podcast, I have a community, I have books, I have coaching. I'm also available for speaking engagements. So check it out, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Thanks for watching the video, and thanks for sticking around. Before you go, I think you have one more task to do. I have a free library membership that contains the New Billable Hour book, all these podcast episodes all in one place, other videos, meditations, print materials, checklists, all your favorites. All you have to do is go to my website, www.newbillablehour.com. Go now, newbillablehour.com. Just sign up. Just put in your name and your email and sign up. All right, see ya.